Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Town of Baltimore Town Board Work Meeting. Today's date is February 25 of 2025. If you could please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, before we go down our agenda, I have a special guest here. His name is Rory McCain. Rory McCain is a principal member of the Reese Group Insurance Brokerage. When we finalized everything on Saturday morning, so I apologize for everything getting to everybody, I guess kind of late, but not so bad. But you got it 15 minutes after I got it, so I didn't fiddle around with wasting time. In any event, we've been trying to get some quotes and getting some brokers' involvement to help us get good quotes. And Mr. McCain, Rory McCain, is here tonight to answer any of the questions that the board may have. Okay, so, sir, if you please step up to the lectern.
Sure. Well, thanks for having me tonight. Normally, I work with my father, Owen McCain. He couldn't be here tonight. He's on vacation where we kind of wrapped this whole thing up. So I appreciate you taking the time to have us come in and quote it. It's a lot of information. We try to offload as much responsibility from you guys as much as possible, but unfortunately, we kind of end up harassing you for a lot of information. But it takes a lot to get this done. But thank you for being patient with us and working with us to get a quote. Before I get into the numbers, I just want to give a little bit of background as to who we are, because some of you haven't met us before. We're from the Reese Group. We've been in existence since 1969. We service about a little over 30 public entities. Our team has extensive experience. I want to say over 50 years of combined experience in the public entity realm. This past year, we've written 7 public entities, including as recently as Town of Cooksaki. We just wrote them a couple of weeks ago. So yeah, we've been doing a lot. We have 5 locations: Kingston, Saugerties, Latham, Goshen, and we just purchased an agency in Walden called the Hunter Agency. So just a little bit of background as to who we are. And now I'm going to give you the proposal.
So you know, Mr. McCain, I did forward them the email package of this. I presume is this.
Yes.
So they had some insights prior to stepping in.
Okay. Then I could, kind of go real quick.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes, I've been looking.
Oh yeah, got to give Barb one.
What's that? Oh. So since you've already had a look at this a little bit, I'll try to go a little faster. Already told you a little bit about us. I'm going to start on page 3, just talk about our team that'll be servicing this account if you decide to go with us. For starters, Taniqua Rosario, she'll be your account manager. She's more your day-to-day person. A lot of towns and villages that we work with speak very highly of her. She's great at customer service. If you need ID cards, if you need endorsements, if you need any sort of paperwork, she'll be the first contact, because me and my dad were on the road a lot. We might not see an email that you need something in that moment. Taniqua's great for that. So she'll be happy to take care of your day-to-day needs. Then there's me. As mentioned before, my name is Rory McCain. Anything, and including my father, if there's anything that's more than Taniqua can handle, anything that you need us to do, looking over contracts, looking at coverages, discussing any kind of insurance-related questions, we'll obviously be able to take care of that for you as well. So we believe in the team approach. So any of those 3 people you'll be able to contact, and we'll be able to handle anything you need. On to the next page. We quoted you with HCC, which is a Houston Casualty Company. They're rated as an A+ company, which means they're financially very strong. They service over 300 municipalities, so they have a lot of experience. And they're owned by Tokyo Marine, in case you were wondering. So moving forward on page 5, We're gonna start with property insurance. We gave you a blanket limit. So what that means is if we do not have, the exact numbers on what your building costs to replace. So say we had it as it costs $1 million to replace, ends up costing $2 million to replace, the entirety of this blanket limit will apply. So the 3.6 million will cover anything, okay? So if something's slightly off, because we can't quite predict, how much it costs to repair a building, this will come into play. So it's just a safety net for you, $1,000 deductible on any property claims. We built in a 4% inflation guard. Once again, that blanket basis covers everything. The 3.6 kicks in over any property. We included, we tried to go down the line, match your coverages for what you currently have. So a lot of this, I'll try to speed it up a little bit so I'm not boring you. $1 million flood limit, $1 million earthquake, $50,000 deductible to each of those. Yeah.
I don't know if you want to wait for a question, but.
I mean, I was going to ask at the end, but if you have something now.
Yeah, so I just wondered about that because in your disclosure, it says that if it's in flood zone A or X, it's not covered.
Right.
And I ask that because our wastewater treatment plant and our, some of the other pieces of that, our generator and our pump station are all in zone A.
They are in zone A.
So
Okay.
I didn't, so it doesn't seem like that million will cover that. I didn't know.
Okay, well, I'll look into that for sure. I'll get back to you on that. But yeah.
Because I
that's
saw
good.
that flood has covered other things
Right.
like if it backs up on the septic system and stuff.
That's a good question.
But that's different than.
Right.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
I'll get back to you on that for sure. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you for bringing that up. Moving on to the next page, page 6. This is all the lines of insurance. Now, a lot of these are kind of throw-ins. Some of these aren't really applicable to your situation. Like golf greens and stuff like that. Obviously, you don't have that.
We're
but
putting one in.
you would be covered in that case. So these are just all the lines that you are covered for. A lot of it is just throw-ins, like I mentioned. We can't take it out. It will not affect the price.
I have to add a question here.
Okay.
On number 28, it says underground pipes.
Yes,
Would that include a water main?
it should. Yes.
Should, yeah.
And this coverage matches our last coverage?
Yes.
That was quick.
Yeah.
Anybody else's head going the same direction mine
Yeah.
is?
That's that.
Exactly.
$330,000.
Yeah.
For a water main break that we were told wasn't covered.
In Sheller Park, yeah.
It's, it's possible they didn't cover it, but we're gonna cover it. But we,
Where were you 5 years ago? Carry on, I'm sorry. I
me
beg your
personally
pardon.
was not in the insurance industry.
I beg your pardon,
It's
carry on.
okay. No, that's a good point to bring up. So underground pipes and flues and drains, $1 million coverage on that.
That's
So
good, yeah.
if you didn't have that, that's $1 million.
But we should check into
Boy,
that.
you're making me think, We're scheduled to replace some more water mains that are quite old.
Right,
And if they fail, that's a problem.
yeah,
But if they fail, maybe it's not a problem.
yeah, we think we would have that covered.
I'm sorry, I shouldn't be so overtly devious in front of the camera. Carry on.
It's all right. Another thing I want to draw your attention to is line 20, newly acquired or constructed property. Now, something we've run into in the past is sometimes our clients don't necessarily tell us when they're going to construct a new building, which seems like, you would think to do that, but it's happened before. So this covers you in case you forget to tell us or whatever. You're covered for $1 million for construction of a new building. So I bring that up because sometimes the wires get crossed and things aren't communicated properly, but that won't affect you guys. Okay, so we're gonna move on. Any other questions with that, we could obviously revisit. In the marine, this covers all your equipment, okay? Line by line, I'll just go down to the bottom. The total limit that you're covered for all equipment is $382,000. So if, for example, you have chainsaws, you have lawnmowers, things like that fall into this category, so. And we went off the schedule that you gave us. Now, the crime coverage, that's for any kind of employee dishonesty, stealing, any issues with that. We have you covered $100,000 limit per employee. And then there's a $10,000 limit for any kind of theft, disappearance of money, anything like that. $1,000 deductibles on each of those, and that coverage includes faithful performance. So moving on to general liability. Once again, this is your slip and falls, any kind of lawsuits you'll encounter like that. We have a $1 million limit per occurrence, $3 million general aggregate, $1 million on sexual abuse, $1 million on pesticides or herbicide suits, damage to premise rented to you, $1 million, medical expenses, $10,000. And then employee benefits liability claims, we have $1 million and $3 million. And that retro date goes to 3/5/2000. So anything from that point moving forward will be covered on this, okay? $1,000 deductible on that. The employee benefits liability, just a quick explanation, is if you have an employee that says you didn't offer the benefits or you didn't explain things correctly and they sue you over it, that's what this covers. And then included on the general liability is cemetery professional, sewer backup liability, and host liquor. Something that's been kind of funny lately is a lot of towns are very interested in that last piece, the host liquor liability. So basically what that means is if the town hosts a party, serve liquor, you're covered for anything that happens with
I
that.
don't do that.
Some towns are more interested in that than others.
Boy, is that a relief.
Yeah. So I figured I'd add that in
Well, we're safe.
there. Just can't sell the alcohol.
Yeah.
Right, so.
Do we have to buy it? Does that happen?
Well, interestingly, I mean, we do have groups who have, like, they'll have they'll rent a pavilion at the park. It might be a wedding or things like that, and they'll have beer.
Yeah.
That's not on us, so that's on them,
Yeah,
correct?
yeah, but you, as a town, if you want to have a Christmas party or something, and you're distributing alcohol, you'd be covered under that.
Understood.
You know, like our picnic in July.
So moving on to automobiles, this is based on 17 vehicles on your schedule. We have $1 million limit of insurance on that. We included the mandatory personal injury protection, 100,000 additional injury protection, 2,000 monthly work loss, 3,000 additional death benefit, 25,000 OBEL, medical payments 10,000, uninsured, underinsured motorists, you're covered up to $1 million. If someone doesn't have insurance and hits one of your vehicles, covers up to $1 million. Everything else follows the schedules. Hired and non-owned liability included on that. And mutual aid, you're covered up to $1 million if you happen to be working with another town. Okay. And on from there. Now, this next page, public officials and employment practice liability. We separated the two, okay? Sometimes this is included under one limit. We have it separate, we have it broken out. So public officials, anyone elected, they're covered for $1 million for each wrongful act with $1 million aggregate, 5,000 deductible, okay? Prior act retro date, once again, that's 3/5/2000. Anything before that would not be covered, but anything after that is. We have a non-monetary damage per suit, 10,000. Non-monetary damage per policy period, 25,000. There's no deductible on that. So moving on to employment practice liability. So this is anyone else that works at the town. $1 million aggregate, 5,000 deductible. Once again, 3/5/2000 is that retro date with a monetary suit, 10 grand. And then there's a deductible on that one, however, $5,000. Wage and hour defense coverage, 100,000 with a 5,000 deductible. And then non-employment related harassment, you guys are medium hazard, $2,500 deductible. Now cyber liability, $1 million per occurrence, $1 million aggregate with a $5,000 deductible on that. Moving on, we have the umbrella policy. Now we got $3 million per occurrence, $3 million per aggregate. Now, what HCC offers, which is interesting that not every company offers, is a silo approach. So that $3 million is on top of each line of insurance, okay? So for general liability, it's a $3 million aggregate, add 3 to that, that's $6 million. Moving on, employee benefits liability, it's a $3 million aggregate, add an additional $3 million, that's $6 million as well. Automobile 1 goes up to 4. Public officials 1 goes up to 4. Employment and practice liability 1 goes up to 4.
Right, or cyber,
Right.
It says one,
Right, well,
it would be four.
cyber would not be a part of this, because cyber is separate from this package.
Oh, yes, that's right.
It's
Thank
its own policy. So sorry if I didn't explain that correctly.
That's right.
Cyber is separate, everything else is included in this. So potentially excluding cyber, you have up to $24 million in coverage per, per line, in total. Which is pretty substantial, $24 million. So moving forward, in the premium summary, now, we're not hiding anything from you. This is how the information is presented to us. So HCC put this all in the package at $45,525. They included all these lines into that price. Then you have the taxes, the motor vehicle fee, the New York insurance fee. They added that, we added that in, and then the cyber at $3,500 is a separate policy. Now, altogether, all those things being said, comes out to $49,201.31.
Okay.
And if you decide to go with us, once again, Tanika will handle any forms you guys need to fill out, including the acceptance and rejection letter, and we'll get you processed as soon as possible.
Once we sign this, we're done?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, so what we're gonna do is, we're gonna,
So is this January
do questions.
to January to December, January 25 to, or is
No,
it this
it would be
month?
when we.
It's this month,
need a
so
year.
Okay.
your actual effective date is March 5th.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're a little early.
Yeah, we run out of insurance as of March 5th.
Yes,
So we're not early because we don't have another board meeting between now and March 5.
right,
So we're at the latter part of our ability here.
right. So your current policy will go until March 5th, and then we'll take it over moving from,
My
if
hand
you
is on
decide
top
to
of
go.
the date.
Question time for any of you?
Question, yeah.
So, just to understand, when, like, for example, employee benefits liability,
Mhm.
there's the $3 million limit.
Yep.
And that's for general aggregate, and it can go up to 6 million
Yes.
with the extra. But then for each occurrence, it's a 1 million limit. And
Right.
then it can go up to 4 million. So what's the difference? Is the general aggregate just across all of the liabilities?
So
How does
per
that-
line, if it's, so, I don't want to not know what I'm talking about here. Let me pull this up. All right, so we're talking about employee benefits liability has a $3 million aggregate. That's what you're asking about?
Yeah, anything like that. you know.
Yeah, so basically, if you get hit with a ton of employee benefits claims and they add up to $3 million in claims, that's when the umbrella comes in over top of it.
Right.
Once it crosses over 3 million.
Once it crosses,
Yes,
so
so-
if you have just one.
Yeah, so it's,
1 million, and then
Yeah.
go up to 3 million for the one.
yeah,
Right.
because then that's when the umbrella comes into effect, which, we're talking about millions of dollars. That's when you start to be looked poorly upon by carriers. So once you cross into the umbrella, they're like, oh, wow, they hit their umbrella. That's not common, right?
I've always thought of umbrella coverage as sort of a gap coverage. You know, the settlement is for 4 million, but you only have 3 million, and that'll cover the gap.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just
That
didn't
will
realize
cancel
that
you.
it didn't kick in until, like, if you have a bunch of them, it
Yeah,
has to hit 3 million, and then you get the,
yeah. I mean, what this is basically sleep insurance, right? We don't anticipate, you crossing over $3 million in employee benefits liability claims. But in the event that you do, the umbrella will kick in and then you're covered for an additional $3 million.
What could possibly be those claims?
If you have a lot of instances in that line in particular, if Joe Smith says, I wasn't offered benefits and now I'm going to sue the town because I wasn't offered benefits, that's what would come in under that. And obviously, I'm sure you have safeguards to make sure that kind of thing doesn't happen, but if it did, this would cover it.
The truth is, the safeguards are usually me. In essence, I call people and I say, why haven't you signed up? And I have.
Right.
So an auto accident and it went over 1 million, I don't know what, would be covered under that umbrella too.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and up to 4 million.
Right.
Yeah.
the individual occurrence. Okay.
Well, carry on. Any more questions to Mr. McCain?
I have one more, I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
So in the beginning, you talk about, again, under the disclosures, so you talk about pollution.
Mhm.
So there's no coverage, like if there was a spill or something like that, truck spill or something like that.
So currently, when we started this process, we asked about storage tanks and things like that. We didn't think that there was enough exposure to really garner pollution policy. If that's something you're interested in, we could absolutely do that, but we didn't really see the need
I
to
just
have it.
wondered if it was in there.
Our
Yeah.
trucks don't want to carry hazardous
You're talking
materials.
about fuel.
And if
Yeah.
one broke in the town, it would be on them. Like a different-
So if you had like underground storage tanks,
We don't have underground storage.
Boulevard, I'm busy tonight.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
Cheap thing.
Pretty similar to our
Yeah.
business.
We've never done
Yeah.
Speak fast, because they're the
I'll
only
talk
ones
fast.
I have out tonight, so I don't know why they're doing
We don't have underground storage tanks. We have above ground storage tanks.
okay. So if you want, we could definitely get a quote for that as well.
What are we talking?
Okay.
Something to consider. You never know with tanks.
It's not a problem if we want to go down that road. They're relatively cheap. It's, I want to say roughly $350 on average. It's pretty minimal, so,
Yeah, I know they're very low. $200.
yeah, so,
Well, we can talk.
Yeah.
In fact, we will talk
okay,
about other issues. We have more things coming up.
Right.
Other insurance packages. Anything else from anyone else?
No.
All right, well, thank you, Mr. McCain.
thank you.
If you could stick around just for a little bit, I know you want to get back to where you belong.
I believe.
But I will have a resolution coming up in which we accept or not accept.
Okay,
And so I could sign that and you can leave with it.
Yeah.
Okay, is that fair enough?
Yeah.
Okay, let's get to other business. So it's down the line on the agenda. Okay, but as soon as I'm done with that, you can go your own way. Okay, so February 24th, supervisor. Okay, I will, let me get my finger. Anyway, the financial reports for the month of January have been forwarded to all the board members. Has everyone had a chance to review them?
Yes.
Okay, then I'll make a motion to accept the January financials.
I'll second.
Motion made, seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. I just want to point out something that, in terms of a letter, I received a letter from the Department of Transportation. I made mention of this last week, but here I have it before me. And it says, Dear Supervisor Russo, this is in response to your April 15, 2023 email requesting me regarding a reduction of the speed limit on Route 144 between County Route 61, River Road, and the Albany County, Greene County line in the town of New Baltimore. We apologize for the delay in our response. I received this, well, it's dated January 31st. So we got it 2 years, just shy of 2 years. Currently, the speed limit on Route 144 is 35 miles an hour from Route 61 River Road to a .015 miles to the north, and then 45 miles an hour to the Greene County, Albany County line. Based on a review, we have determined that a reduction of either the 35 or 45 mile per hour speed limits is not warranted at this time. Including our investigation, we reviewed the crash history of the requested sections of the 35 and 45 mile an hour zones covering the 65-month period from January 1, 2019 to May 31, 2024. In the .61 mile section of the 35 mile zone, there were 12 reported crashes, including 5 crashes in the vicinity of the intersection/curve at Church Street. In the .75 mile section of the 45 mile zone, there were 5 reported crashes, 3 of which were vehicle deer collisions. We did not find a discernible pattern of crashes at these locations. Thank you for bringing this thank you for bringing your concerns about this location to our attention. If you have any questions regarding this matter, please call Scott Gannon of this office at 518-457-5243. We've had lots of correspondence with DOT on this particular issue. I did call them nevertheless, and they keep asking me, what's the matter with Route 9W? You've had 8 deaths in 8 years and you've had 0 in 25 years. Why are you worried about this route? So that's what DOT is. They're kind of scratching their head. Had 8 people die in 9W. Nobody cares. I mean, I do.
No.
But it's, to them, no one cares because no one's writing them letters.
To slow it down, yeah.
No one's writing them letters. So anyway, someday I'm going, and now I've talked to them about doing something for Route 9W. And they suggested it would be nice if people would write letters like they did in this case.
Yeah,
So I'm encouraging people to write letters for Route 9W. I really do want to encourage that.
By 9W, New Baltimore Road, and where that curve goes, a lot, quite a few.
Oh, right between Route 144 and the county line. That's where they are.
Yeah.
And I know you've had a couple by your own,
By Barrett's, yeah.
and at Aquatuck Road, and the list goes on.
And you kind of take
It
your.
is, it's a tough spot, and we gotta be careful when we drive it. And it doesn't have the curves such as they have on 144, that's absolutely true. I mean, they have curves, but not as stark, but it's a concern. So anyway, and it's a concern at that point, but they're still curious as to why we're so concerned about that section. And I said, well, it is what it is. Okay, county legislator, do we have something
No,
from
we
you?
don't.
No,
Okay, it's funny, you said you'd be here today.
And
maybe
All right.
it's more now from yesterday.
All right, Bart?
12 building permits, $2,382.62, 3 CO searches, $150, 4 audio recordings, $8.80, 2 easy gas tags, $50, 1 fishing license, $1.38, 16 dog licenses, $108, 1 fire inspection, $100, 16 certified copies, $160. Total state, county, and local revenues, $3,004.42. $20 to the New York State Department of Ag and Markets for the spay neuter program. $23.62 to the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation for hunting, fishing licenses. Total to supervisor, $2,960.80. The town clerk's office collected $2,554,603.55 in taxes, representing 67% collected. Amanda Eldred, Deputy Town Clerk, is a member of the National Guard. Her unit was activated by the governor last week. Please keep her in your thoughts, and we hope she will return to the office quickly and safely.
All right, thank you. Okay, I don't have anything all the way down until we get to audit and
what
budget.
about the
Minutes?
the town clerk?
Oh, yeah,
Approval?
of course. All right,
Who?
I said, of course. You know, we have the minutes for January 27, 2025. I'll make a motion to accept.
A second.
Motion made and seconded. All those in favor say aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Furthermore, we have the meetings from February 10, 2025, Town Board regular meeting. I'll make a motion to approve those.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion approved. Historian, Agriculture, Animal Control. A quick point, I have ordered 3 ticket books to be used by our dog control officer. I'd like to hand them, I'd like to have her here at perhaps our next meeting where we can discuss our preferences for their use.
Okay.
And she should be here. We're gonna invite her to be here. And it'd be nice for the town board and town people to see what she looks like. Okay, assessment, audit and budget. Member Downs.
Yes. So, do we want to do this first, or what are you asking me to do?
Well, we could do the resolution first, and then, you can discuss your findings along the way.
Okay. Resolution 54 of 2025, resolution to approve the annual review of accounts for supervisor, tax collector, town clerk, town court, and petty cash audits of tax collector, town clerk, town court, and building, planning, zoning department. Whereas Town Law, Section 123 requires each town officer or employee who has received or dispersed any monies to produce all supporting books, records, receipts, warrants, vouchers, and canceled checks as authorized by Section 29 of this general municipal law. Resolved, Councilmember Downs, member of the Audit and Budget Committee, completed the annual review and petty cash audits of the financial records for the supervisor, tax collector, town clerk on February 13th, town court on January 29th, petty cash audit of tax collector, town clerk, town court, building, planning, zoning department on January 29th.
Okay. You gonna make the motion?
I'll make that motion.
A second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion?
Go ahead.
I have a little discussion. I was a little concerned about your petty cash audit as it relates to the courts. They don't know how, why, or where, but they had $30.
Extra.
Was it $30? $30 extra in their petty cash, and they have no reasons or knowledge as to how it got there, which is kind of not a good thing.
This is true. It started out as 10, then the next month it went to 20, and when I got in there, it went to 30. So we returned, right, I'm just seeing the progression, and we asked them, we looked at it, we couldn't figure out where the $10, they believe that maybe when they make change for somebody, they might have, it seems to be, we're trying to check it. We put another audit in place for them to check their work on a more frequent basis to make sure, to see if they can track down where the $10.
Okay.
Or-
This is a thought. I mean, look, $30 isn't, earth shattering, but it does imply, I don't know if I want to use what word do I want to use? Sloppiness? Is that fair? I mean, I don't want to be harsh, but, I didn't realize until now that it was 3 $10 misses. And somebody didn't get the money they were due, is my thinking.
Right.
We either overcharged someone, didn't give them their change, and I don't know what to say. And, I don't know, what's their plan to do it right next time?
The plan is that when Asia takes money out or makes change or goes to get stamps, Lynn is supposed to do an audit that night.
Oh.
And what
it's
about
checked
the
in.
reverse?
Right. But it's usually Asia that goes down and gets the stamps or something. So they're trying to double check their work. And then I'm gonna go back in.
Okay.
I mean, I only did it on the 29th, so I'm gonna go back in this month and redo their petty cash.
Okay,
And in the what have I been doing this, 8 years?
that's the first time.
This is the first time we've had this issue. And I couldn't understand why, and they had it noted. They had it noted that they were $10 over on month A. And then they had it the following month, they were $20 over. And then when I went in, they were 30.
Keep letting them go, they'll fix our budget holes.
There we go.
All right,
So,
thank you. Any other discussion?
No.
Jeff, I have a question. Last year we got, in the packet, we got a copy of the budget. Will we get one?
The budget or the audit?
I'm sorry, I said the wrong on it.
Yeah, we have, they're in my office. Didn't we have them in here?
No, I don't think so.
All right, yeah, we can get to that.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so a resolution, made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Okay, I don't have anything more here. Okay, who's going to do our recycling center?
that's me.
That would be you.
All right, recycling for the month of February, date 1/29 through February 24th, 2025. We had 60 gallon bags of plastic, 9, bundles of magazines and phone books, 8. Bags and bundles of newspaper, 43. Boxes and bundles of cardboard, 81. For Charlie.
Okay, and, planning, building department?
Summarization of code enforcement officers' activities for February 2025 is as follows. Building inspections, 23. Total new building permit applications received, 3. Total building permits issued, 4. Demolition permits issued, 1. Residential summary of residential solar permits issued, 1. Certificates of compliance issued, 4. Certificates of occupancy issued, 1. Certificate of occupancy search request, 4. Building permit renewals, 2. Open building permits, 220. Building department fees for February 2025, $979.17. Total fees for the year, $3,611.79. Alan Jordan.
Thank you.
Yep, and, just so you know, with the new clerk, minutes are getting approved and they're out there on a timely basis. Everybody is very happy
Yes.
with her attitude, with her willingness to help whoever comes through that door. We've gotten a lot of, compliments on her attitude, not only from the people in the building that she works with, and Alan, and Bill, and
Robbie.
Even Robbie?
and Robbie.
He's not easy.
But that being said, they are, everything's going along a lot smoothly.
Yeah, she's doing a really great job. She
Yep.
really is.
People like her.
Yeah.
The people in the public like her. So,
That's what counts.
Yep.
Okay, fire EMS, Mr. Delisante, please.
Green County EMS held their meeting on February 18th. There were 23 calls in January for a total of just 23 for 2025. There were 8 strokes in all of Green County and 3 overdoses in all of Green County. In 2024, we had a total of 243 calls. And that's the largest number of calls we've had in 12 years
Wow.
that we've been here. Just so you know, Green County's numbers, all of Green County's numbers were way up this year.
Are we still having a lot of overdoses?
We had 55 for 2024. That's, to me, that's a lot of
Yeah, that
overdoses.
is a lot. I
Hopefully our numbers will go down.
Okay, thank you, sir. Under grants, promotion, economic, anything to report?
we're working on things, but we haven't really done.
We did get the final go-ahead from DASNY regarding the grant for the renovations of portions of Town Hall. For those that don't recall, we are looking to have a new handicap ramp put in, because that's falling apart. It's
What
falling
about the
apart.
steps?
And steps,
Yes, and the ramp.
and a number of other items
Yeah.
have been approved. So that's one, and we're looking at having a conference call with Delaware Engineering next week. And we're going to put out the, publish our bid offering so that people can put in. But there's gonna be a handicap ramp that comes this side of the building.
Oh.
Just so you
Right, and the
know.
rails.
Yeah, and that one's gonna be gone. It's falling apart.
Yeah.
No,
Additionally, in another grant, I applied for a grant with PERMA for some equipment. And it's safety related, training programs. And what the equipment is a laptop dedicated to safety stuff put on it and a tie-in to a flat screen TV that we also have been approved for. So we want a free laptop, well, one. We've been granted a laptop and a flat screen TV. I'm thinking about putting the flat screen TV behind the New York State flag on this wall. There's a gap there. So nevertheless, we have 2 more grants to at least put forth. So that's, that they said will be received in about 10 days of all things. So anyway,
I'm quiet. Keep going.
Okay, highway. We don't have our highway director here, superintendent. Okay, so I'll report what I have here. Replaced hydraulic oil tank on 97 International plow truck. Replaced spray nozzle on 2012 International. Washed the trucks as needed. Picked up rebuilt head for leaf vacuum. Heavy snow squall on 128 around 7 a.m. Salted all roads were needed. Met with Central Hudson to do energy audit at Highway Garage and WWTP. 129, all in at 4 a.m. for light snow, plowed and salted all road. Found and repaired air leak on 1985 Oshkosh. 129 received 109 tons of salt. Waxed and polished the 2023 Chevy 6500. On 130, we received 187.9 tons of salt. 130, snow in western portion of town, salted where needed. 131, ice was expected, salted all roads. 21, in at 8:15 for snow, plowed and salted. 23, all in at 4 a.m., plowed and salted. Repaired fuel filter hose on 2006 F350. Adjusted brakes on 1985 Oshkosh. Repaired exhaust on 97 International plow truck. Repaired exhaust on 85 Oshkosh plow truck. Called Innovative Municipal Products about Magic Minus delivery. Replaced air brake chamber on 93 International 25. Received 2,000 gallons of Magic Minus salt additive. Oh dear, got more. I'm trying to go fast, but I can't.
I don't know what's going on, so
Yeah, they're going quicker than
Normal, yeah.
I don't know. Keep going.
built new hinges on dump body for 2006 350. Cut tree limbs along roads that were hitting plow trucks. Repaired stop sign on Birchwood Lane, knocked down by Kiewit truck. Kiewit truck. Replaced
Oh,
cutting edge on 2003
23.
snowplow.
leave the owl do it. Let him do it.
Just keep going.
Yeah, I'm concerned about that well, we'll talk about that in a moment. Replaced cutting edge on 2023 6500 plow. We bought this 2 months ago? November, 3 months ago. Readjusted brakes on 93 International, cleared snow and salted in front of recycle shed. Cleared snow and salted town steps and ramps as needed. Changed flat tire on Oshkosh number 6. 29, all in at 12 a.m. for snow. Hauled in more salt from Appalachia Salt and Clemens. Repaired mailbox on Alcove Road hit by plow. Replaced blown hydraulic hose on 2012 International. Worked on fuel water separator on 2006 F350. Rebuilt push arm for wing plow on 85 Oshkosh number 6. Hauled 2 loads of salt for the village of Coxsackie. Worked on paperwork for 284 agreement. 213 small snowstorm, plowed and salted. 214 light snow early morning, all in at 5 a.m. Salted all roads and plowed. Repaired air leak on 2013 International plow truck. Was that a tire? I don't know. Saturday, 2:15, snow, all in at 7, worked until 11. 2:16, more snow and freezing rain, all in at 4 a.m. and salted all roads. 2:16, all in at 4 a.m. More snow and ice and plowed, salted several times. Checked all roads for ice and salted where needed. Okay, replaced auger bearing on Salter F310 or F350 number 11. 219, salted all roads in western part of town in morning and scraped all ice in the afternoon. Salted a few leftover icy spots on 220. Sent 2 employees for random drug testing. Cleaned inside of the John Deere loader. Moved large snowbanks on Huckle Hill Road and Birchwood Lane with loader. Repaired stop sign at 51 and Shady Lane. I would like to thank the town board's grant committee for meeting with me last Friday to discuss possible grant funding for the highway department. It was greatly appreciated. As of right now, I guess it's a now, we have about 300 tons of salt and stack. Keeping my fingers crossed it'll get us through. We will have to come up with a plan to get some more at the end of the year. I wish Alan was here because I'd like to discuss this with him.
Yeah.
Because what we need is a lock on the gate.
Yeah,
Yeah, the pickup.
Does everyone know what I'm talking about?
yes.
Yeah.
I watched the cameras last week because it shows the front of the gate. And I'm here to tell you that people drive up to the gate, they take the chains off and drive in, and they take a shovel and they load it the back of their pickup truck and they drive away. 15 times. Even one person with a Prius loaded up. I don't know who would put salt in the back of their Prius. I mean, I just thought that was odd. But they're taking, just shoveling in the back of their truck and they're filling up buckets, multiple buckets. And some trucks come in, pickup trucks, a couple times
Yeah, we can't do that.
in a day.
Well, that's why Alan said we're running low.
Yeah.
And we're running out of salt.
But we're running low throughout the state and he's
Oh,
just
I
letting this
know.
go on.
Well,
It's
you know,
not
there
just
is
us.
I wish he was here. I'd like to ask him that. So let's just stick with it there. I'm not gonna throw mud or salt on people. I'm just going to point out what my observations are, and I'll have to talk to him about it.
Well, Carver has
Yeah, but-
plenty of salt.
I guess my next question is, why did we take 2 loads of salt to the village of Cooksaki? Are we
Yeah,
getting those 2
I'm-
loads back?
I don't know.
Well, I seen Green County trucks pull in and fill up to the brim too. Do we get that back?
I mean, he's
Probably not.
reporting on it right now that we drove that salt to Cooksaki. We hauled it. Why?
I don't know.
Yeah, I
You
don't
know,
know either.
I mean,
We
just
can't
like
afford
this repaired stop sign on Birchwood Lane, we know who hit it
Well, they're supposed to pay for that.
and they're supposed to pay for
Well,
that.
we do have an escrow account that will pay for those things. And so we'll make sure that's charged.
Well,
Right. But
I find it great. I was in my house for 4.5 days because of ice. And I don't get salt from the town.
Well, I don't know how they pick and choose,
Just
but
get your pickup truck.
we
It's, you know, again, one person needs a bucket. Yeah, you know, I'm not gonna lose it, but we're talking about backing up trucks to it,
yeah,
pickup trucks.
ridiculous and we're running low.
That's a
But
little,
Alan reported this last month, last meeting too, so
no, he didn't.
Well, he reported that he was gonna lock it and be
he
able to.
saw a pickup truck come in and get sand and salt.
and he said it was just sand.
I saw it.
And he said that it was, he was
It was
going to
900
stop that
pounds.
from happening.
900 pounds,
God.
one trip. Anyway, we'll leave it at that. Okay, well, I'll talk to Alan about that and maybe we'll follow up on it next meeting. Okay, so let's move on because we have somebody who wants to get out of here.
I don't blame
Okay,
him.
resolution is a highway resolution. Resolution to appoint part-time heavy-duty motor operator. Okay, resolved. Hugh Sterrett is reappointed to the position of part-time heavy motor equipment operator at the rate of $24.43 per hour pending receipt of an oath of office within 30 days
Right,
of today, correct?
yes.
Okay, I'll make the motion.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next, resolution number 56. You can read when we're done here.
Okay.
Resolution to authorize purchase of property and casualty insurance. Whereas the insurance subcommittee to the town board, which is Supervisor Russo and Councilperson Downs, procured quotes for liability and casualty insurance for town property and vehicles, and whereas the best quote for insurance was presented by the Reese Group, which identified Houston Casualty Company at a cost of $49,201.31. Therefore, be it resolved, the town supervisor is hereby authorized to sign the contract with Houston Casualty Company. I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Motion made, seconded. Discussion, please. Just so you folks know, I did have another quote. Mr. McCain didn't know that, but he will now. And it was with the current coverage. And, I mean, it's many pages here. we've had Trident now for, oh gosh, I can't remember being different than Trident.
Yeah, no, ever since
That's
we've been
right.
on, yeah.
Their rates went up to 59,000. I can't find the numbers here, but it's here, 59,000 and some odd dollars. This is $49,000, so we do appreciate your help on that. And last year, our rates had gone up, and we had it was 48,000 last, the one that ends on the 5th year coming up. It was 48,800, and this is 49,200.
Yeah.
So $400, give or
Give or
take a little. And we had actually budgeted 50, wasn't it? So we're in under. I didn't tell you what our budget was.
No.
I said just do it raw and give me the number, So I want to thank you. So a motion's made and second. Any further discussion?
No.
Hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Mr. McCann, I'm going to sign it now.
Just to state something, this is the most informational report I have ever seen before this board. I've been here for a lot of insurance presentations when this was the most thorough I have seen presented
Well,
to you.
thank this fellow here.
That's what I'm saying.
She's been coming.
Or you can
since we were
thank me for
children.
calling him.
No, that's true.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
1986.
There you go. I appreciate that.
And today is 2/24. I'll take credit for getting him in here.
Absolutely.
Hey,
Here you are, sir. Tell
Thank
Mr. Owen McCain, I appreciate his work on this.
Absolutely. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
be
Drive safe.
careful of deer.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Yes,
I
there's,
had another one jump out at me today.
That's all right. I got the original one. All right, thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, personnel, we don't have anything for that. A planning board, who do we have here? That's, this is Downs again.
She likes to read.
No, I really don't. The planning board met on February 13th, 2025, in which the following business was transacted. Dan Puckett wishes to be seen by the planning board to inquire about opening an auto repair shop on his property. The shop is existing and was previously run by the former owner of the property. Unfortunately, he could not attend the meeting and is rescheduled to attend next month's meeting. Rich Nolan was present representing the Chema Gas Station Convenience Store project to review the updated responses to the memorandum from the town designated engineer. Also to review lead agency responses received from Greene County Planning Board and the DEC. The planning board expressed their concerns with not hearing any comments back from DOT on this project since there will be new entrance and exits located on 9W. The board asked the clerk to reach out to the Greene County Highway Department to see if they have any feedback on the project. The planning board suggested they wait 30 days for a response, and at the next meeting, they can move forward with seeker and scheduling a public hearing. Alan Lord was present representing New York Land and Lakes for Pine Haven major subdivision at the intersection of 51 and 26. He presented the planning board with several maps, including topography and proposed septic and well sites located on the parcels. This was done as a precautionary measure because there was concern of the possible location of septic systems due to the proximity of the wetlands and the Cooksaki watershed. The maps reflected that all parcels are adequate to provide the correct buffer needed to comply with all setbacks. The board reviewed the application submitted by New York Land and Lakes and also the EAF Part 1. Chairman Van Etten then read aloud and filled out the EAF Part 2. The board made a motion to accept the major subdivision application and schedule a public hearing for the following month on March 13th, 2025 at 7 p.m. Ken Busman was present and had submitted the application for a lot line adjustment between two properties owned by a trust in which he is included. He wants to change the property line to make a narrow passageway more accessible. He was advised by the planning board the necessary steps that need to be taken, including maps that reflect the change and deed descriptions that also reflect the change. Once these steps have been taken, They will be reviewed by the town's attorney and resolutions can be made. Motions were made to accept the monthly meeting minutes on December 12th, 24, and January 9th, 2025. Ralph Benetton, Chair.
Thank you. Town courts, I guess we'll go with, since Councilwoman Cash is not here, Councilwoman Sotolano, please.
Town Court of New Baltimore, monthly town court report by James Huff, Honorable James Huff and the Honorable Anthony Consul, dated February 24th, 2025. The following is the Town of New Baltimore Court monthly report for January 2025. Total January monies received was $14,145. From Honorable James Huff, $6,948. From Honorable Anthony Consul, $7,197. Total 2025 monies received in January, $14,145. Total new cases received was 123. And I don't know if we have any state numbers. Or
Not for January, I do have December. State, this is as of December 31st, state 90,545, county 2,915, town $81,816.50, for a total of $175,276.50. 81,000.
81,000, yeah, that's the annual figure. Right, correct. All right, thank you. Veterans, do you want to say anything?
Yeah, I
Ms.
do.
Van Atten?
I want to say that the luncheon yesterday went very well. Everybody enjoyed it. And I want to thank some people. I didn't get a chance to talk because of the whole flag thing and all of that. But I want to thank especially Barb. She made tons of food and she goes shopping with me. And
It was very
Ellie for
good.
helping to clean up my committee, Dan Lamora, Jim Diallard, Skip Early, and Anne Marie, who cooked food and helped set up and helped clean. And Pat Linger helped
Oh,
immensely.
he ran around like a chicken.
Yeah,
with
he
his
really
tail.
did with the cleaning and everything. So I just wanted to make sure to thank everybody.
Yeah.
All right, very good. We have a resolution, excuse me, we have, well, that's for zoning.
Was there not a
Did I
meeting?
do the what did I do with the resolution?
This one, that's all that's on here.
Oh, yeah, there it is, I got it.
here's the,
Resolution 57 of 2024, 25 rather. A resolution to appoint part-time wastewater treatment plant operator. Resolved that Steve Grimm is reappointed to the position of wastewater treatment plant operator at the rate of $22.66 per hour, pending receipt of an oath of office within 30 days. I'll make the motion.
One second.
Motion made and seconded. Discussion, please. This person isn't going to work regularly. He has been there
Yeah.
in times going by, but he's there in the event of an emergency that may occur down there. And that's consistent with your question. Hopefully he'll not work there. All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Okay, so now I have zoning board, and that would be Ms. Sotolano. Councilperson Sotolano.
The zoning board of appeals met on February 5th, 2025, in which the following business was transacted. Mr. Lent was present requesting a variance because his new proposed house and garage would not meet the required setbacks per the town code. He presented his case to the zoning board of appeals. A resolution was made and a variance was granted with the conditions that the lot line adjustment between him and his neighbor is approved by the planning board and that a public hearing be held with no opposing comments. A public hearing was scheduled for March 5th, 2025 at 7 p.m. Mr. Kizelev came before the board as a preliminary measure to ensure he was taking the correct steps to subdivide his driveway from his neighbor's property. He was instructed that his neighbor, Mr. Bohm, needed to fill out a subdivision application and present it to the planning board, at which time it will be denied and sent to the zoning board of appeals to receive a variance since the driveway is being subdivided from is an existing non-conforming lot, therefore creating two non-conforming lots. Once the driveway is subdivided, it should be joined with his newly purchased property in the town of Cooksaki with a lot line adjustment. William Bulkey, Chair.
Okay, thank you. Move on, upcoming meeting, March 5, 2025, zoning board of appeals meeting at 7 PM. March 10, town board meeting, 7 PM. March 13, planning board meeting at 7 PM, and March 24, town board work meeting at 7 PM. I don't have any cards for public comments, so I'll move on to the audit of claims. Audit of claims, resolution number 58 of 2025. Resolution to authorize the supervisor to pay audited claims. Whereas the town clerk has presented claims to the town board for audit and review, and whereas the town board has audited claims 2025 B-02-01 to 2025 B-02-37. It is resolved that the supervisor is hereby authorized to pay claims 2025 B-02 to 2025 B-02-37. And be it further resolved, the town clerk will prepare an abstract and hold public review until March 31, 2025. I'll make the motion.
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
General, $16,605.58. Highway, $16,661.21. Sewer two, $255.04. Street lighting one, $1,833.99. Street lighting two, $262.69. Total $35,618.51.
Thank you. Okay, I have no further business for this board, so I will entertain a motion.
I'll make the motion we adjourn.
I'll second.
Motion made, motion seconded. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Good night, everybody.
Oh, no,
That's what we say when you come in, not when you're leaving.
God, now I gotta find my keys.